Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Your game is coming up next. But here's some information from the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
6 easy ways to become an MVP. And by MVP, we mean most valuable parent. Like all of us, the parents of high school athletes tend to protect their children from adversity, or they overly involve themselves by advocating for their success. But when they do, they're negating the value of participating in high school sports. Among other lessons, high school sports teach teenagers to take nothing for granted, how to overcome obstacles, and that an extraordinary commitment of time and effort is required in order to reach goals and experience achievement. High school sports also encourage independence and self-sufficiency, attributes that are needed to be successful in life. It's natural for parents to love their children, and it's important to support them in as many ways as possible. With this in mind, here are 6 easy ways that you can be the MVP of your child's high school team. Number 1, attend your children's games as often as possible. Nothing demonstrates interest and involvement more than being there. And be sure to invite Grandma and Grandpa to come along with you. Number 2, cheer for all the kids on the team, not just your own. Here's a test for you. Do you know all the players on your child's team? Could you say hello to them by their first name? Embracing the entire team is a great way to show that your interest is sincere. Number 3, be a resource for your child's team. Does a teammate need help with transportation? Is the team trying to raise money for new uniforms? Is someone needed to organize a pizza party before the tournament starts? Maybe you can help. Number 4, try not to criticize the coach or the officials in front of your child. Hey, you're human, and there may be times when you need to vent. But be careful when and to whom you do it. Criticizing the coaching staff undermines its credibility and tends to put your child in the middle. And games are seldom won or lost because of an official's call. Remember, coaches and officials are objective. Most parents are not. Empower your child to talk with the coach about concerns. Everybody wants more playing time, and understandably so. But encourage your children to have that conversation with their coaches instead of you doing it for them. Giving teenagers the confidence and conviction to speak up for themselves is one of the greatest benefits of participating in high school sports. Number 6, focus on the life lessons your children are learning, not on win-loss records or how many points they're scoring. According to the NC2A, only about 2% of all high school athletes win a sports scholarship, and the average value of it is less than $11,000. But every child will benefit from the lessons they've learned as a result of participating in high school sports for the rest of their lives. It's difficult being the parent of a high school athlete. There's far more emotion and social pressure involved than is ideal. But if you follow these 6 pointers, not only will your children love and respect you, but so will their teammates and coaches. And you might even be named MVP. Thank you for your support of high school athletics in Indiana. Stay tuned now. The Indiana SRN game is next. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Hello and welcome to the Bostic Gymnasium on the campus of Traders Point Christian Academy. Tonight we have the George Washington Continentals against the host Traders Point Knights. Today is a very special night here on Indiana SRN. Not only do we have the Knights versus the Continentals, it is World Cancer Day. And here, everybody here at Indiana SRN, we wish you all the best with your battles of cancer. For those of you that have One, congratulations, you guys are survivors, and just know that everybody here on the Indiana SRN family, thoughts and prayers are with you every day. Every step is a journey, taking one step at a time, and just keep battling. You are all fighters. Up next, the Traders Point Knights, George Washington Continentals here on Indiana SRN.
High school basketball is coming your way here on Indiana SRN. We are at Traders Point Christian Academy, and they are hosting today Indianapolis George Washington. Traders Point on the year. They're led by their head coach, Craig Cox, 7th season with the team. The Knights 2-13 on the year, and on the other side, the Continentals from Washington High School. Their head coach is Kenny Roseman. He's in their 6th year, and right now they're sitting at 5-9. So both teams looking to get big win here, get back in the win column, as both teams have lost their last few, and with only 5 or 6 games left, every one of these games seems like they're more important. I'm Ben Wood. With me is Justin Griffith, who you just saw on the court. We're going to have all the action for you here tonight on Indiana SRN. Got both teams warming up. And real quick, Justin, I mentioned both of these teams just kind of looking for a win here, get back in the win column, get the ball rolling in the right direction as the postseason is nearing us.
Yeah, I mean, Traders Point, they're 0 for 2020 so far. Only 2 wins on the season. I was able to talk to Coach Cox before the game, though, and he said even though they lost the game against Lafayette Central Catholic, he got a lot of good out of that game, and he's hoping that this young team is able to build off of that, because they are a very young team coming into tonight. And it's just going to be interesting to see how they can respond against these Continentals.
Yeah, that's really the narrative for the Knights season, is just how young they are. They've got Derek Mount and also David Hart, the senior, and also they were missing all year long Titus Underwood, another senior who's been out with a hand injury. And then you bring in Thomas Caldwell, who's one of their main players on the offensive end. He missed a few games with concussion. He's back in the lineup, so maybe he can start getting his feet under him. They can get some team chemistry rolling, and like you said, just get back in the win column, get that first win of 2020.
Yeah, as you see Coach Cox alongside the George Washington head coach, Ken Roseman, and it's going to be just a discussion of what can we do for both teams and making sure that both teams coming out of here clean, healthy, and ready to go on. As you mentioned, sectionals just around the corner, and the girls sectionals started tonight as well.
Yeah, we've got a lot of coverage of that on Indiana SRN. I believe we're at 2 different sectional sites. We're at the 1A in Greenwood Christian, and then we're also going to be at the 3A at Bishop Chatard. So be sure to go to our website at indianasrn.org. You can catch our full schedule there, go back, watch games on demand, all that good stuff. We've mentioned Traders Point, a very young team. You look at this Washington team, it's kind of surprising to see this many seniors on a team, and not the greatest record, but, you know, there's always more to tell to that story, and they do have some handful of talented players. They do have 3 players that are averaging double figures. They are led by Keelan Hill, who is averaging just over 15 points a game, followed by Jonathan Porter with 11 and Tyler Weathery with 10.
Yeah, and it's just going to be interesting to see how George Washington goes on the offensive side of the ball. You know, I don't know if you mentioned it or not, they're averaging 56 points, giving up 61, and Traders Point's scoring 43, but I saw in the JV game, George Washington almost settled for 3-point activity, so let's see if that's how the varsity rolls as well, or are they going to try to bring it down inside, because they do have that size advantage.
Yeah, let's talk about that here on the College Hunks and Movers pregame show. What do you think you're going to see? You mentioned maybe Washington's going to settle for some threes, not be too aggressive. What do you think you'll see from Traders Point?
I think Traders Point is going to want to get it down low, but also make sure that Derek Mount is going to be the one that's taking care of the ball. You know, he is basketball royalty, and he in the past he's been able to facilitate and get get his shots up and make sure that his team in general is just getting good looks at the basket, and I expect that more out of him tonight as well.
Yeah, he's a really talented player, and really for him, it's just a matter of time of getting in rhythm and starting to hit shots, because one of the most impressive games I saw from him this year was against University. They got down in the second half, and the game was pretty much over, but Derek didn't give up. He started to hit a few shots, and that led to a few more, and by the time it was all said and done, he had 30 points under his belt. So he can definitely be capable of getting hot and knocking down some shots. But the one thing I did notice for Washington is they don't really shoot a lot of threes, so I think they're going to really look to attack, like you mentioned. And when we come back, we'll touch on more from both of these teams before we get set for the tip here on Indiana SRN, where you never miss a game.
If you find yourself confronted by unwanted pests in your home or office, then you need to contact the professionals at Kim Mountain Pest Control. We offer quality pest control solutions at an affordable price. We specialize in ants and termites. We're also available to handle a variety of other pests, including roaches, fleas, and flying insects, as well as rats and mice. Don't wait until pests cause severe damage to your home or property. Contact the team of experts at Kim Mountain Pest Control today.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
In the corners of the gymnasium.
Back here at Traders Point for the College Hunks and Movers pregame show. We mentioned both of these teams. Only a handful of games left. Let's take a look at their last few games. We'll start with the Washington Continentals. They've had a rough three-game stretch, 3 losses to 3 very good teams. They lost to Cathedral, Indian Creek, and Park Cedar, all 3 very capable teams. So this is going to be one they're really going to be itching to get back in the win column for. Then you take a look at Traders Point. You and I have both covered a few of their games, you more recently than I. So we look back at a few of their games. You saw them against Lafayette and Central Catholic.
Yeah, and against Lafayette Central Catholic, Thomas Caldwell really stood out to me. He was 5 of 14 shooting. Eli Underwood, also a very big contributor in that loss. But they actually, what surprised me and what surprised a lot of people, honestly, was the fact that they had a 14-12 lead after the end of the first quarter against a very good Knights team from Lafayette Central Catholic that has turned from just a football school into an all-sports school. So, and that's what Coach Cox has said. He goes, even though that we lost that game, I was able to take a lot more out of that game, a lot more of what we did well, which was facilitating the ball, finding our good open shots than what we have even in our last game, even though we took a step back after that last game.
Yeah, and that's one thing I saw too. They played a very good University team, and in the first quarter, they were leading at the end, and they hung around for the second quarter. I think really you look at this team, they only go about 8 deep, and a lot of these guys are underclassmen, so I think really it's just kind of a conditioning thing. They kind of run out of gas and they can't really go at full speed as fast as they would like to. But we're going to step away here as the national anthem is going to partake underway. But real quick, we're going to get a prayer in here from Derek Mount. Before we do that, I do want to remind everyone here on Indiana SRN that this is the College Hunks and Movers pregame show. They can move anything at any time. Call them at 317-739-4262. We're going to step away here on Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
In today's fast-moving business world, effectively marketing your company takes hard work, creativity, and the right team. With over 40 years of experience, PIP has been enabling companies large and small to find success in achieving their business objectives. We understand the challenges our clients face, That's why we have a variety of print solutions suited to fit your every need. Whatever your printing request may be, from a quick turnaround on a company brochure for an upcoming trade show, a direct mail piece that needs to be designed, printed, and mailed, to complex marketing projects, PIP is sure to have the right print solution for you. Nothing grabs attention like a well-crafted sign. It can transform virtually any surface into an eye-catching experience, boosting your marketing appeal. From banners, posters, floor graphics, and window decals, to wayfinding and yard signs. We not only help with sign design and getting it installed, we also integrate them into your overall marketing strategy, designed to help you win. PIP also provides best-in-class integrated marketing solutions to help you make the most out of your next campaign. Our approach to marketing ensures that your strategy is seamlessly executed across all media, online and offline, so your business always looks its best. At PIP, we understand it takes a team to achieve business growth, and that's why we're here to help. Get to know PIP and let us make your world a better place.
We're getting set for the tip-off here at Traders Point. And let's start with the starting lineups for the visiting team in George Washington. Continental setting at 5'9", starting guard number 1, Mike Williams, sitting at 6 foot, also a junior. Number 4, we have senior Justin Goodall, the 5'10" guard. And then we've also got number 11, senior forward Keelan Hill. And then the other forward, 6'4" senior Tajon Nichols, and rounding out the starting 5 is number 50, Cortez Washington, the 6'2" sophomore in the middle. And for the home team, you're seeing the lights being brought down, like this atmosphere here for Traders Point. Traders Point on the year 2-13. Their starting 5 consists of number 1, Matthew Maxey, the 5'10" sophomore. Number 5, the sophomore Jackson Wilhite, the 6-foot guard. And here's the seniors for you. Number 10, the guard, 5'11", Thomas Caldwell, and also the forward, number 24, Derek Mount, 6'2", the senior as well. And then we've also got the sophomore, number 11, Eli Underwood, as the last guard. So we've got things ready to go here. The lights are back on, and we're ready for the tip.
Yeah, and again, just being able to be here at Traders Point is always good. They're one of our biggest clients and one of our first clients as well, and it's always nice to represent these guys here as we get ready for the tip. Derek Mount messing with the ball a little bit.
He's got to get a feel for it. Like I said, he needs a good rhythm. He's just making sure he gets those hands warm. Ball feels good in his hands. I like it.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I just said...
So we've got Traders Point in the white and silver, and we have Washington in the gray and white. I also like the checkered board on the side of these Washington jerseys.
I do too. I do not like the white and silver, though. A little hard to read.
And right out of the gate, we have an alley-oop. Nice setup there as Williams picks up the first 2 points of the game.
But that's just more on the announcer side, hard to pick up numbers and whatnot. They do look very sharp, both teams.
Now driving left, Maxey against 2. He is blocked. That is Hill coming in to get the rejection.
As we'll see here, George Washington just alley-oop, easy layup past the Knights defense.
Have to be talking on those back screens. Inbound underneath as Underwood gets tied up. There's going to be a jump ball as a few Continentals have their hand in there.
And that's really on Eli Underwood. He, instead of trying to chin the ball, he dropped it down low where Washington was able to get their hands in there and cause them to lose possession.
Caldwell swinging it up to Wilhite. Down in the corner, Maxey. Back out to Mount. Wilhite with nowhere to go. Caldwell, a little bit of pump fake. He's going to let it go. A little bit too strong there. Good rebound from Goodall. Williams with it. Now into the corner. Back up top, Williams. No pressure. He's going to let it go. Off the back iron, too strong, but offensive board here from Washington. There's a baseline jumper off the mark. Ball's bobbling around. Looks like there's going to be a jump ball as Derek Mount is on the bottom of that scrum.
Looked like a defender recovering a fumble there, Ben, more than basketball player.
Yeah, you see a loose ball, you hit the floor. That's one of the first things they teach you. So it's going to be baseline out of bounds here for Washington. They've got 4 across. Nichols a little bit too eager there. He took that first step before the dribble.
And again, both teams just trying to figure themselves out here. Low scoring affair. Washington in a little zone press.
Just a little bit of pressure. As Underwood loses it, now looks like we're going to have another tie up here. So about a minute and a half into this one, already 3 jump balls. So a little bit of sloppy basketball, but I'm sure things will work its way out. So ball is going to stay with the Knights. Mount on the inbound. Gets it to Underwood. He's going to keep attacking. Goes all the way around before it taken away there by Hill. He's already got a block and a steal to his name. He's probably the guy you got to look out for the most on the offensive side of the ball. Nice up and under move. Strong on that one. Another offensive rebound, but couldn't make anything of it. We're going to have a foul. The first foul of the game is going to get against Hill.
Fouls on Hill, his first.
And again, Cortez Washington just not being able to finish off of that, but it's really Washington's being able to get all these second and third chances early on, and yet they still only have 2 points. That's really saying something about Traders Point's defense.
Maxey pulls it back out, but sooner or later, Justin, you got to think those second chance opportunities are going to start to fall. Here's Maxey still with it. Mountain with it here now on the left side. 3 defenders on him. He gets tied up, but he finds a cutting Wilhite towards the basket. Acrobatic finish is no good. Nice pass up to Hill, and he is fouled. Looks like they're going to give that foul to Maxey.
Foul on number 1, Matthew Maxey, his first, team first.
Maxey working his way into the lineup. He's been on the JV team for most of the year. It's good to see him be able to work his way in to the starting lineup.
Yeah, he was able to, even a couple of nights ago, he was on that JV side of things. Really impressed Coach Cox after the LCC game. And with the injuries that Traders Point's had to deal with throughout the course of the year, leaves people to step up, and he's been able to so far.
Keelan Hill on the year, an 83% free throw shooter. Knocks down both of those. Knights still looking to get on the board here. About 3 minutes into the first quarter. First quarter is brought to you by Piper Logistics. Underwood sees a double team. It's poked away, and now a fast break opportunity. Good pass up to Nichols for the lay-in.
Yeah, again, just pressuring Eli Underwood. And George Washington's read the scouting report that he has been on that JV, so the speed of the game catching up to him a little bit here this afternoon.
Washington showing 1-2-2 zone. Mount's going to let his first shot go. Short on the three-point attempt. Williams pushing it up. Now in the middle to Washington. Down low to Hill as he attacks hard, but can't get the layup to go. Some good hustle there by Jackson Wilhite, but it looks like the ball is going to stay with the Continentals.
And Eli Underwood subs out of the game, and David Hart checks in for the Knights.
Hart is the starter we've seen at the point guard position for most of the year. Inside to Washington. Hook shot, no good as Mount secures the rebound.
And again, if you're Washington, those are just going to fall. You just had to put a little too much on it.
And Maxey in a flash gets to the rim and picks up the foul.
Foul's going to go against Mike Williams. His first, team's second.
Shooting 2, Matthew Maxey for the Knights.
Maxey looking to get the Knights their first points. Still searching here with 4:09 to play in the first. The sophomore, no good on the second, but I think they're going to say there was a lane violation on Washington, so he's going to get a third opportunity.
Yeah, and that's going to be huge because he did not miss that shot by much. But he misses that one.
That one hard off the back. And now here come the Continentals. Nichols squares up, pulls it back out. Looking for Hill down low. And he's going to go to work using that body, but he can't convert. And now it's Caldwell pushing. He's going to get all the way to the rim. And there you go. Traders Point on the board.
Yeah, and Caldwell just being able to push the pressure there and easy layup.
Down low to Cortez.
Travels with it.
Yep, traveled before he can get that shot off. But these last two possessions for Traders Point, it's when they've been able to push the ball in transition. It's led to that foul, and then we saw Caldwell get a layup at the front of the rim. So maybe that's what they got to do, continue to push that ball.
Travis Balance, Jonathan Porter, and Darren Crowley is checking in for the Washington Continentals.
Not with it here on the left side, over to Maxey. Maxey being guarded tightly by Crony. Baseline drive here for Mount. They're going to say a blocking foul on the drive.
As we see here, just he's able to just kick it in an extra gear and leaves it actually a little bit short, but gets the friendly roll.
Woolheit with it in the corner off the inbounds. Swung over to Hart. Mount baseline jumper in rhythm. Can't hit. Here comes Jonathan Porter. The senior averages 11 a game. Nice strip there by Maxey. 2-on-2 opportunity. As Hart goes hard to the basket, can't finish from the left side, but stays with it. And gets the ball back here for Traders Point. Hart working one-on-one. Nice attack there on two defenders.
Yeah, he didn't give up with it, even though he didn't have the numbers. Just decided to attack the defender one-on-one and easy two-point conversion.
He's a hard-nosed player, the running back for their football team. Had a very good career for Traders Point. Here's a shot from the right side. Three-point opportunity off the mark there from Crony. And we're going to have Keelan Hill come out of the game because he had his jersey untucked.
Yep.
Number 32 comes into the game for Washington. We don't have a number on the roster for him. Mount off the handoff. Pulls it back out. Caldwell trying to force it in there. Possession's going to stay with Traders Point. Under 2 to play here. Low scoring first quarter. Caldwell with an open shot, passes it up for an even better one. Mount can't connect. Nichols is going to pull it out and swing it over to Crony.
Those are going to fall for Derek Mount. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah,
he's catching them. They're good shot selections. I can't find anything wrong with.
That was by far their best jump shot attempt of the game. It's Porter with it at top. Gets all the way into the paint for kicking it out. Crony for three. Comes up with nothing.
Now, we talked about Derek Mount having good shot selection. That right there was a poor shot selection. Maybe a pass or two more, and they would have had an even better shot or a down low look.
Hart with it. Over to Caldwell. Some nice crossovers to get himself into the paint.
And, yeah, Derek Mount just easy call by the referee. Steps back instead of hopping back, and easy walking call.
Unfortunately, I think they'd let that one slide in the NBA, but this is the IHSAA, so they're going to call it a lot tighter. So now under a minute to play here. Washington brings it past half court. Going to swing it around the top of the key, probably waste some clock off here. Skip pass over to Porter. He attacks, acrobatic attempt, but no good as Hart's going to push the pace. He finds Caldwell in the middle of the paint, and he is fouled. That one's going to go against number 32 for Washington.
Number 32, Crenshaw, his first, team 4.
Crenshaw.
Shooting, Thomas Caldwell.
Caldwell, the senior, with an opportunity to tie this one up from the free throw line. And the free throw struggles continue.
And that's really surprising because I got here early on and was able to see a little bit of shoot around, and Coach Cox really worked on, taking 2 foul shots and rotating, and they were hitting them in practice. There's not much difference between practice and game here, Ben.
There is a big difference, though. I think sometimes the pressure can get to you as possession stays with Traders Point. Again, another missed second opportunity here. Both teams really can't connect. Well, they secure that offensive rebound.
In the mentality of the player, that can't be changed. Like, you can't. That's where I was going with it. Yes, obviously.
So it looks like Washington is content to run some more clock off here with under 10. They're going to have to go here quickly. Nice step back, nowhere to go. Good defense here from the Knights. Corner 3 from Nichols. Good to end the quarter. As we head into the second quarter, it is George Washington Continentals leading Trader Point 9-4 here on Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Life Centers offers love and compassion to all women and men who come through our 8 centers. The goal of this love and compassion is that we would not only save babies from abortion, but also transform lives and create families. The forms of this love and compassion are our services. All of our services are offered free of charge to our clients. To learn more about Life Centers, contact us at lifecenters.com or call us at 317-280-2635. Life Centers. We choose compassion.
Check out Indiana SRN on our YouTube page. Be sure to hit that red subscribe button, and you'll never miss an upcoming game. You can always go back and watch other ones as well. Highly recommend it. Best place for anything high school sports. And at the break, it's Washington leading Traders Point 9-4, and here we're going to see a quick replay from that buzzer-beating 3 from the corner.
And again, you're just able to get the defender in the air. Nice skip pass. Nothing but twine.
And that was Tajon Nichols, the senior who averages 3 points a game. He's already got 5 here, the only player with 2 baskets to his name. Washington's going to start out with the ball here. Second quarter is brought to you by Bertner Electric. It's Crenshaw with it. Into Hill as he attacks. And he's been relentless so far with the ball, and it's paid off with 4 points now for Keelan Hill.
Yeah, he didn't shoot it well in that first quarter, but a high shot selection, nice layoff, and Maxey gets his pocket picked.
Williams with some nice moves, but now he's having trouble securing the ball as Crony now with it at the top to settle things down here for the Continentals. It's Travis Balance with the pass down low. Baseline jumper short, and Hart's going to push the pace again. 4-on-1 opportunity, kicks it back out. Good look here from the top of the key from Caldwell as he knocks it down for Traders Point.
Big time 3. And again, it was just the fact that David Hart pushing it, forcing the Continentals to converge on him, finds Caldwell for the open jumper.
Traders Point has been really good when they haven't allowed George Washington to set up their defense. And there's a block from Hart from behind on Hill.
Then a foul against George Washington.
So that's going to go against Hill. He's now got 2. That's something they're going to have to watch out for.
And the foul disparity is relatively big so far, Ben. 5 for the Continentals, 1 for the Knights.
So Cortez Washington makes his way back into the game, as well as Tajon Nichols. And in for Traders Knight, it's the freshman, Cooper Simmons-Little. They find Mount on the left block. Good skip pass out now. Simmons-Little over to Maxey. So Maxey pulls out good pressure again from Washington. Strong drive, but it is poked away there by Williams. Now balanced with it, going to pull it back out, reset the offense here. Two minutes into this one in the second quarter. It's Washington leading Traders Point 11-7. Ball screen there from Washington. Crony's going to pull it out again. Williams down low to Washington. A little bit of a pump fake, now going right back to Washington, up and under. And that's a tough call right there.
Yeah, Derek Mount. Oh, they're going to get it on Cooper Simmons-Little.
We all thought initially they were going to give it to Mount
Yeah.
on the rejection, but that wasn't the case. They gave it to the freshman. Came over to help. So Washington has 2 from the line. Can't hit on the first.
I was going to say there was nothing wrong what Derek Mount did. He kept his hands up and kept his feet set. So, but yeah, I think Cooper Simmons-Little got his hand in there just a little bit beforehand.
So Washington, a 50% free throw shooter on the year, misses from both. Maxey, good drive to the rim, but can't convert. Now it's Porter with it, pull-up jumper. Too much on that one, and it's Hart pushing again. Great bounce pass up to Caldwell, and that was pretty.
Yeah, Caldwell just being able to keep his team into this ball game right now. He has 7 on the night, and it's a 2-point ball game.
Hart's got the other 2 points, and he's also got a couple assists, so it's really been those two getting it done for the Knights. Skip pass through the defense. Somehow finds Porter all alone from the left wing, and he hits the 3.
Yeah, again, nice little skip pass through the 2-3 zone.
Maxey now trying to answer with a 3 from him. And Mount comes up with the rebound, but they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. But realistically, Justin, looking back at that last possession where Washington hit that 3, that pass should not get through that defense. You got to have your hands up.
In a 2-3 zone like that, it was just the fact that they tried to push, or they extended out a little bit, and the skip pass just went over the person who was supposed to converge.
Justin Goodall firing off the mark. As Simmons-Little comes up with it, now pushes up to Maxey. We've seen all night Washington being aggressive on the defensive side of the ball, but Hart is able to squeak in for a layup.
And again, just working that offensive side of the ball is Hart and able to get inside off this man-to-man defense.
Quick pass over to Williams off the back iron. And again up to Caldwell. The finger roll got a little bit too fancy there. He can't convert.
Yeah, take an extra dribble or two, young man. Lay it off the glass. Make sure that you get that high shot selection instead of rolling it off the fingertips.
Drop step, hook shot good there from Washington. And Coach Roseman for the Continental is going to take a 30-second timeout. 3:33 left here in the second quarter. It's Washington leading Traders Point 16-11.
And again, you see the replay. Cortez just drop step, hook shot. That's a high shot selection. You know, we talk about it a lot. the big man able to get that little baby hook going, that's when he becomes very dangerous.
Yeah, that's just a great look. It was solid defense, too, from Mount. Just not much you can do there.
No, not without drawing contact, which it wouldn't be a bad thing for him to draw contact on Cortez Washington, especially since he just came off of missing 2 free throws. But when you're a player like Mount, you don't ever want to pick up a silly foul, and that's exactly what that would have been.
I bet Coach Roseman called that timeout to tell his team, let's put the foot on the gas as they come out here in a full-court press. Maxey with it here near side, back to Caldwell. And they finally get it over. Now Cooper Simmons-Little from the corner. Can't hit. And Goodall came down with the rebound. Now Nichols. Back up top to Williams. Down low again to Washington. He sees double team. Good job by him to get rid of it quickly. And he stays with it but can't finish. And here's Hart again off to the races.
And a hard foul there by Mike Williams, picks up his second.
So now Williams and Hill, 2 starters, both have 2 fouls apiece.
His second, team 6.
Just under 3 to play. I want to remind everyone that the second quarter is brought to you by Burtner Electric. No project too small. Call today for service, 317-773-7663. As Hart's able to knock down the first one, he's now got himself 5 points and a couple of assists.
And you mentioned it, Ben, that David Hart and Thomas Caldwell is the scoring for Traders Point, but you got to also put into big effect that Washington's double teaming Derek Mount every time he touches the ball, or triple teaming him in some circumstances. So he's able to get that pass out and allow his team to work around that.
Exactly. You got to know there's going to be an open man somewhere, just has to find him. As Porter tried fitting in a bounce pass as it was kicked away. He just came into the game for Mike Williams. It's Darren Crony, the senior, averaging 7 points a game with the ball now. Swung over to Porter. He hit one earlier. Can't get that one to go, and it looks like there's going to be an over-the-back call on Cortez Washington.
Easy call against Cortez Washington.
Fouls on 50, Washington, his first.
Team 7th now. So we will be seeing free throws for the Knights.
Eric Mount for 1-1.
And Mount's going to be the one shooting these free throws. Solid from the line, best on the team at 78% on the year.
Gets the first. That's big. He left that a little bit short.
You leave that follow through up there, and it'll help you out as he gets his first points of the night. Same thing with that one.
Though. Yeah, he just left it short. And a quick timeout.
We're going to have a 30-second timeout here from Traders Point. Good job, though, by Traders Point after getting down 9-4 in that first quarter, able to bring this one back within 1 point.
Yeah, they got hit in the mouth early on, and then it was really Thomas Caldwell and David Hart that said, okay, boys, let's try to see if we can't punch them back, and they were able to do so. Now only down by 1 here with a couple minutes left to go in the half, and it's a low-scoring game, but what did you expect when both teams are playing relatively good defense? As soon as they're able to get the defense set up, 2:22 left to go.
Yeah, these last 2.5 minutes or so are going to be really deciding for the rest of the game. It's Porter bringing up the ball for the Continentals. Traders Point again showing 2-3 zone.
They've been in that all night long with very few exceptions of going to a 1-3-1 trap.
Here's a three-point shot. That's good as Darren Crony makes them pay. Mountain with it on the far side. Skip pass taken away. It's Goodall going the other way. Finishes at the front of the rim.
And 2 quick baskets, and this has started ballooning again, so Washington being able to counterpunch once again.
Caldwell trying to force a pass. Falls into Mount's hand as he can't get the hook shot to fall. And now it's Washington pushing again.
And he carries the ball.
Yeah, it looked like right there. Porter just kind of lost his footing. Coming back into the game is the sophomore Travis Balance. As Porter's going to take a seat.
And again, a little bit of pressure by Washington.
Hart gets into the paint, kicks it out to Maxey. Finds Hart under the rim. Good ball fake there by Simmons Little. As he got a little bit lucky, lost that one, but it fell right back into his hands.
And again, a 4-point game. George Washington going to settle for 1. Let's see if Traders Point allows them. Right now, they're content.
We saw this happen about just in every quarter in the JV game, so. We'll see how long they decide to take this one down. My guess is probably around 10, 15 seconds before they go.
Yeah. And again, the explosiveness of Washington has been shown here a little bit, but it's not. This has been a very defensive game, and everybody knows it.
Hey, best part about this, look, we get a little bit of FaceTime here. As it's balanced with it now. Under 10. Finally, he's going to get it going. Over in the corner. 3-point shot from Goodall. No good as Mount comes down with it. He's going to have time for a heave. And comes up with nothing. So we head to the halftime break here on Indiana SRN. It's the visiting Washington Continentals leading Traders Point 21-17 here on Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Sitting down, McKenna Cole. Sophia Meyer. Olivia Meyer. And Crony. Melissa Fishman. Gary Hall. Ashley Johnson. And Grace Hooker.
I chose Traders Point because it's a great opportunity for me to be able to play sports, have a great academic experience, have a great social life, and do a lot of things I can't do at other schools.
I went to public school for 8 years and moved here, and you notice a change in the people you meet and the relations that you make with everybody, and the teachers here are awesome. You always feel like you're understood, and they're always more than willing to help.
And I really like how he pours into us individually. If you say after class, you can talk to him about what's going on in your life, and you can talk to them about your faith.
They've been my mentors. They are interested in my life, who I am as a person, and are interested in seeing me grow and succeed in the best I can be.
Because of Traders Point, like how much it's helped me, I ended up getting a scholarship to Taylor University, a full ride scholarship, so that's a huge opportunity and a huge blessing.
Facilities at Traders Point are phenomenal. I mean, they're brand new. Everything is state of the art. The classrooms they've built from scratch. Sports facilities are phenomenal.
And we're giving our kids any chance that they want to come here and to be able to participate and to be able to compete at a high level.
Kids will spend more than 17,000 hours in school. So who are they going to spend that with? Who will be their peers? Who will pour into their lives? I'm sure most of you can remember some influential teacher or coach that poured into your life. And we want that to be your child's experience here at Traders Point.
Fun fact, did you know that an estimated 16,000 books have been written about former President Abraham Lincoln? 16,000! About one guy! How could so many books be written about a guy who only lived to be 56? Well, one easy answer is that he was an amazing guy and that he did some amazing things, especially during his time as president. But still, enough to fill 16,000 books? Well, here's a thought. Maybe it's not just because of the number of things Lincoln did, but the number of perspectives that people have on him. A perspective about his early life, his decision-making process, or about how he might have even hunted vampires. Not so sure about that last part. Even the people who lived and worked with Lincoln provide different perspectives about who he was. Just like each of our friends and family would provide just a little different perspective about each of us. Well, it's no different with the person we're going to spend the next few weeks talking about, Jesus. You think 16,000 books about Lincoln is impressive? There's hundreds of thousands of books that have been written about Jesus, far too many to count. And that for a guy who only lived on earth for 33 years. Today, we're going to talk about 4 of these books. These 4 books are pretty special because they can be found right in the Bible. They were written right after the time that Jesus lived, and some of them written by people who knew Jesus personally. These 4 books are often referred to as the Gospels, which means good news. Each book gives us a unique perspective on who Jesus was and all that he did. Each author saw the life of Jesus slightly differently, and each author was actually writing their account of Jesus' life for a different audience. Now, while there's some difference of opinion about exactly who each author was, here's the most widely held beliefs. First, there's the book of Matthew, believed to be written by one of Jesus' disciples, who was a tax collector. Now, I'm not sure how you feel about the IRS, but I'm guessing tax collectors don't rank high on your list of favorite people in the world. But that's nothing compared to the way folks felt about tax collectors like Matthew. A big part of this was that tax collectors back then did more than just collect what was owed. They often cheated people out of their money. So, Matthew wasn't very well liked, but that didn't stop Jesus from inviting Matthew into his inner circle of followers and showing him unconditional love and a new way of life. Then there's the book of Mark, written by a friend of one of Jesus' first followers. An interesting note about the book of Mark is that the author was most likely writing to a predominantly non-Jewish audience. The perspective he gives is an action-packed account of the many miracles and healings Jesus performed. Next up, the book of Luke. According to Christian tradition, Luke was probably the kind of guy every Jewish mom wanted her daughter to end up with. He was a doctor and probably well respected in the community. Now, we don't know if it's because he was an educated guy or not, but Luke's book reads a little bit more like a historical account of the story of Jesus. And finally, there's the book of John. Now, we all know you're not supposed to play favorites in life, and it's pretty hard to imagine that Jesus had favorites amongst the disciples. But it does seem that if Jesus had a best friend, it was John, the author of this gospel. What seems central to John's perspective is that Jesus was more than just a man, a great teacher, or prophet. Maybe more than any of the other gospel writers, John emphasizes that Jesus was, in fact, God in human form living on earth. John closes his book by saying that what he's written is only a sliver of all that Jesus said and did. In fact, he says that if every amazing event in Jesus' life were to be written about, all of the books in the entire world wouldn't be enough to contain it. No offense to Abraham Lincoln, but I'm glad it's Jesus we'll be talking about the next few weeks. How about you?
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
We're back here on Indiana SRN at Traders Point, and right now they are trailing Washington 21-17. Justin, real quick, what did you like from the first half?
Well, I really like the fact that David Hart was able to come off the bench and really be a factor, facilitating the ball and scoring it himself. He's the only Traders Point Knight that has hit free throws besides Derek Mount. Other than that, you know, Derek Mount's going to try to facilitate himself here in the second half. For Washington, it's just been even scoring throughout the contest for them. And actually, Traders Point won that second quarter, Ben, 13-12.
So we get the third quarter underway here. And it's Traders Point with the ball. Mount with a little bit step back from the elbow, no good. Off the tip, Hart couldn't convert as well. And now it's Hill pushing it the other way for the Continentals. They're going to pull it out now. Williams, he travels.
Just got a little too antsy with the feet.
Yeah, I think he saw the defense was a little out of sorts. And the eyes got a little bit too big.
And again, a decent crowd here tonight for it being a Tuesday night matchup.
It's always a good crowd here. They'll always come out for some basketball. So it's Maxey with it. Looks like that pass was deflected off of Cortez Washington.
And again, Coach Cox just trying to tell him, go strong with it, make your passes crisp instead of, you know, lollipopping it in there to Derek.
Good look there from Mount from the corner. Ball again is going to stay with the Knights. So now a third chance here on the offensive side of the ball. Baseline out of bounds. They ran it too early. It looked like they might have had Will Height streaking towards the rim. But the ball wasn't in Mount's hand yet. Mount gets it out To Maxey, into Hart. Good skip pass there to Caldwell. Contested three, buries it.
And again, Thomas Caldwell, 2 for 2 from behind the arc. And this is, again, a 1-point ball game.
Caldwell, the first player in double figures. Good move there by Washington. And Mount picks up the rebound.
Again,
Caldwell pushing the other way, finds Hart. That's been a connection. They've gone to a lot in the transition game, and that's going to lead to Roseman taking a timeout. Before we head to break here, let's take a look at that three-point shot here from Thomas Caldwell.
And again, just inbounds pass to Hart. Hart finds Caldwell in the corner. Good contest, but an easy tray for Caldwell.
So we'll take a quick break here on Indiana SRN, and we'll be right back.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
We're back here on Indiana SRN, and the home team is finally coming alive. They've taken their first lead of the game over Washington.
Yeah, and it really was just the fact that they came out, hit a quick three, and then was able to get the steal, and David Hart lays it in for 2 to put this at a 22-21 game.
Third quarter here on Indiana SRN is brought to you by PC Pros. Got a new player out there for Washington. That is Aaron Hampton, the sophomore. Crenshaw with the hook shot at the front of the rim. Trickles all the way around but can't fall, and Mount with another rebound.
Again, offensively, it might not be his night, but he's able to get something done defensively and facilitating the ball.
He's going to look to set a ball screen here for Maxey. Swung over back to Maxey as he drives. Loses the ball as Mount's able to secure it. The ball's going all over the place. And they're going to say Mount touched the ball while he was out of bounds. So the possession is going to go towards Washington.
I think they could have called that a little bit earlier, but, you know, it is the correct call.
So it's Travis Balance bringing the ball up for the Continentals. And a deep three here, and we're seeing why they brought him into the game. That's Aaron Hampton, able to connect from deep.
And Washington regains control and a little bit of pressure off the inbounds.
Maxey being guarded closely, tried to thread the needle and couldn't do so. It's now Jonathan Porter with the ball. Back to Hampton, no one gets on him. And another one.
If you're Coach Cox, you have to be yelling shooter, shooter, especially now back-to-back threes, and now it's a 5-point game for Washington.
Mount calling for the ball on the block. Wilhite quick pass, Caldwell open from the corner. Can't knock it down, and it's a 3-on-2 opportunity here for Washington. Some fancy moves from Porter, and he's able to get the floater at the rim.
Quick 8-0 run here by Washington out for the timeout. A little surprised that Coach Cox doesn't call one himself.
Wilhite with a good look down low. Can't hit from point blank.
Now Washington's going to slow it down a little bit.
Halfway through the third quarter here, brought to you by PC Pros. And thanks to Aaron Hampton, this offense has come alive here for the Continentals. Balance over to Porter. Down low to Crenshaw, working against 2 defenders. Good contest there by Mount. And Hart now pushing the ball into the heart of the defense. Maxey over to Mount. Mount's going to let it rip, knocks it down.
And again, we said it before, only a matter of time before that ball goes in. And now that it has, look for Derek Mount to take over this ball game.
Back within 4 for the Knights. As Balance out of control, just throws it up. Was looking for the foul. No call, and Mount with it past the half-court line.
Ball's kicked way out of bounds.
So take a quick look at this three.
And again, Hart or Maxey able to find Mount. Defender in his face, doesn't matter, rattles it home.
That's a confident shot right there from the senior. Now Hart trying to work down low. Good skip out of the post, gets it right back. That dribble cost him.
Yeah, really did. And instead of it being foul's going to be on
Fouls on number 30,
Hampton, his first, team's first of the half. But again, Derek Mount taking that dribble instead of going up strong, you know, that's always going to cost you when you're able to get hands into that place. And Maxey just loses the handle of it.
Balance with a strong take towards the basket, can't finish, but there's Crenshaw to clean up the mess.
And again, you mentioned it, Ben, in the first half. Second chance opportunities. They didn't convert. Washington didn't convert on the first half. They have here so far.
And another turnover here from the Knights as Porter pushes it up to Crony. And he is shut down by Hart, but then there's Crenshaw with another putback opportunity, and we're going to have a quick 30-second timeout here from Washington. So 2 turnovers lead to 2 buckets there for Crenshaw and the Continentals.
Yeah, and Coach Cox is just explaining to Maxey, you have to fake it, make sure you get the hands up. And again, we'll see it here. Block, and then Crenshaw is just able to regain it. Takes that dribble, which is always costly, but not this time around. That could have been really bad for him, but he was able to get it over the outstretched arm of Derek Mount.
And Justin, you just mentioned Coach Cox kind of schooling up his sophomore point guard in Matthew Maxey. And that's something he's just going to have to learn with time, is you're going to have to use a lot more ball fakes and just be a lot stronger with those passes, or they're going to be deflected or even worse, taken away. So some good coaching there from the longtime head coach of the Traders Point Knights. 8-point game with 2.5 to play here in the third. We saw that big spark off the bench from the usual JV player, and Aaron Hampton was able to connect on 2 threes. Both of them from a couple feet from behind the arc. Coach Roseman getting in there to help mop up the mess.
A little bit of dance moves there by Crony.
After the timeout, it's Hart bringing the ball up here for Traders Point.
They have the opportunity here. Mount can't connect.
And now quickly, he's balanced the other way. Tries to find Crony, but Underwood with the block from behind, and he's swarmed.
And now a foul.
Looks like that one's going to go against Crony.
Fouls on 0. Balance.
Actually, they're going to get to Travis Balance. That's his first of the game. And this allows for Washington to set up in their full court press. As they get it in. And also Philip Moran making his first appearance of the game.
And a no-look pass by David Hart. Sails out of bounds. And that was Moran. That was the intended target there.
Just a little too careless with it, and maybe they not on the same page there. Might have thought Moran was cutting towards the hoop. But another turnover gives Washington another chance to widen this lead. We're seeing the Knights go to a man-to-man defense here. They've been playing 2-3 zone for most of the night. It's Porter with a shot from deep. Short off the front of the rim, but good shooters follow their shots. No look pass to Crenshaw. Can't convert on the pretty pass.
Yeah, just being able to.
The spin move, no good off the front of the rim, and now Crony coming the other way. Porter over to Hampton. This is the guy. 3 for 3 on the night.
And that is the game changer right now.
It's Caldwell comes
Offensive
charging
foul.
in. And Crony was waiting for that one.
And again, you just see great ball movement by Washington. Finds Hampton for an open 3. And again, it was in transition, so you can't really follow Traders Point too much, but you always have to be keying on the shooter.
That was also just a great job there by Porter, who took one dribble to bring the defender over and made the extra pass to the open man. So now under a minute here. It's the Continentals leading the Knights by 11. And once again, Washington going to hold for the last shot, potentially, of the quarter. This quarter was brought to you by PC Pros. Website design and internet marketing. Call Derek 765-273-3401. Crony being guarded by Mount. Brings over 3 defenders now. They're going to find Washington again. Ball fake, step back. Blocked by Caldwell. Now with 3 seconds left, Hart's going to have to try and throw it up, but no, Crony steals it. Can't get the ball off in time, and we're going to head to the final quarter here on Indiana SRN. It's Washington leading Traders Point.
Our family has been very happy working with Walt on
because they make sure I get the acting skills I need.
Either way, it works.
Wallflower Pictures supports UV's journey in the industry. They're very passionate about this work, and they're very professional in taking care of us.
Yeah.
I truly believe in the projects I worked on, like for the boys and the walk.
We love working with Wallflower Pictures.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page, Indiana SRN. Never miss an upcoming game. You can go back and watch this game and many others. So be sure to go to youtube.com and hit that subscribe button on our page. As the fourth quarter is about to get underway, it is presented by Morales Group. In that third quarter, the big difference maker, Justin, Aaron Hampton with 3 big threes.
It's always the player that you don't really expect that has the career-type night, and right now that's Aaron Hampton. Again, Crenshaw, he had 4 points in that quarter as well.
Yeah, it was a real close game at the half as Traders Point made a nice comeback in the second quarter. But Hampton came in and shot lights out, had his last three-point attempt blocked, but he was trying to force the matter there. Those first 3 were as smooth as could be. Now some full court pressure here from the Continentals as Mount gets it past the half-court mark. Now in the corner with it is Maxey, back out to Caldwell. That is taken away by Hill. Keelan Hill can't finish. And it looks like they're going to give a foul to number 32, Crenshaw of Washington. That's going to be his second foul. So after the turnover, the Knights able to catch a break there.
We're going to have to go a little bit here, down 11 with only 7.5 left to go.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many three-point attempts here from Traders Point, but it definitely a few are going to have to fall if they want to get back in this one. Down low to Mount, nice skip pass out to Caldwell. Hart finds Mount on the other side of the basket all by himself.
And that was just Washington losing their man for a half a second, and Derek Mount able to put it off the glass for 2.
Yeah, some heads turned on that skip pass, and they were able to recover as an excellent find there from balance to Crenshaw.
And same thing happened there against Traders Point. They lost sight of Crenshaw for a half second, and he was able to put it up for 2.
Crenshaw now with 6 points, all in the second half. Maxey with a strong drive, but it is sent away by Hill. Keelan Hill, the star player for Washington, averaging 15 points a game. Also getting it done on the defensive end tonight. He's picked up a few blocks here in this one. They find Simmons Little off the slip, but he can't finish. And now a run out for Porter. As the layup falls, the lead is now up to 13, biggest of the night here for the Continentals.
And Crenshaw just steps out of bounds.
Tried to save that one. He's really had his impact on his game with his kind of hustle and just scrappiness around the rim. Maxey on the right wing. Hart finds Caldwell in the corner. No good. And another run out here for the Continentals. Porter with it, gonna pull it out. And goes back for more as he's able to finish at the rim.
Again, Porter just beating the people off the drive for Traders Point.
Down low to Simmons Little, the sophomore, the freshman, gets ripped. And here's Hill quickly the other way, and this one is getting out of hand here at the start of the fourth.
Timeout, Traders Point. Full timeout.
So we'll take a break with them right here on Indiana SRN. Don't go anywhere, where you're always in the game.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Back here after the timeout from Traders Point, and here in the second half, it's been all Washington as they've been able to get this lead up to double figures, and now they just continue to add on. Traders Point's going to have to come up with some points here quickly as the ball is almost thrown away. Ball screen there from Mount over to Will Height. Hart attacks, able to find Maxey in the corner, swung around the top of the key. Will Height with it, throws it away on the baseline pass.
And you can just see the frustration here on the Knights and really on Caldwell there, just not being able to control it, and it's affecting these young men very hard.
Balance trying to get it down low, throws it away. Hart looking to push the tempo. Will Height picks up his dribble. Back out to Mount. He's going to let it go.
And he's fouled.
As you can see, the sense of urgency there from the senior. He gets it. He knows they're going to have to get some points here in a flurry. And he wasted no time getting up that shot. Didn't allow the defense to set up. And he's going to head to the line here for three.
His third, team four.
Mentioned Mount is the best free throw shooter on the team. Off the front of the rim there on that one. We saw his first two free throws of the night hit that similar spot on the rim, but they were able to trickle in.
Washington lost track of how many foul shots there were as well.
Goes 1 for 3 from the stripe.
And if you're George Washington, you'll take that all day and night.
Porter with it here on the near side. And Caldwell's going to have to apply some pressure here. Crenshaw, free throw line drive, able to will that one in. He's had a really good second half.
Yeah.
Mount, another three.
And you mentioned it, Ben. He understands that this team needs to go. 2 quick 3-point attempts.
And here's Hill with one from the corner, no good. Caldwell going to push again.
Offensive, yes. Against Caldwell.
Now we're going to see here as Crenshaw is able to get that one to fall, just worked his way through Mount. Washington with a 15-point lead with under 4 here in the fourth. Fourth quarter here on Indiana SRN is brought to you by Morales Group. Building better futures one story at a time. Balance going to pull it back out. Maxey applying the pressure. The spin move through a couple.
5-second call against Balance. And that's just heads-up play by Traders Point. But that's also a sophomore mistake by Travis Balance.
Saw some sophomore action there as Maxey was the one applying the pressure, as his layup is no good. Strong on the rebound was Balance. He picks up the foul.
On Derek Mount, his first, team 3.
Mount's going to pick up his first foul. And really, Traders Point's played a clean game defensively so far. Not too many fouls on their end of the ball.
No, and again, if you're Coach Cox, you really take away Aaron Hampton, and this is a interesting game to say the least.
Crony on the offensive board throws it up, and again, it's Crenshaw working under the glass. Picks up another rebound.
And again, this one's going against Derek Mount as well.
Team 4.
But the foul's going to be on the floor. No shots going for Washington.
So the baseline out of bounds. Crony, the inbounder. So they throw it out up top to Balance. Good hands there from Maxey. He's able to poke it away. And now we're going to have a timeout here from Coach Roseman. He's going to talk things over here. I'm guessing it's going to be to instill probably a 5-out offense, something to burn away this clock.
Something to make sure that you don't get another 5-second call on him. You had one earlier or a couple possessions back. You almost had one on this possession, and now it's being paramount as you saw Coach Cox lecturing Will Height about making sure that your defensive stance is good, not being able to get blown past you.
You got to like that from the longtime coach here, over 25 years at the high school level in Craig Cox. We've seen a few different timeouts where he's taken one of his underclassmen aside and kind of just talk things through them, things they can look out for to do better, because he understands that this year isn't going to be this team's year, but maybe next year, the year after, they're going to have a lot of seniors on this team. And hopefully they're going to be ready to play.
Yeah, they're really, we mentioned it in the pregame, they are really young, really only graduating David Hart, Thomas Caldwell, Titus Underwood, and Derek Mount. You're graduating 4 seniors, but everybody else is not even a junior, and their freshmen are sophomores. So a very young team here for Coach Cox.
Still have lots of room for improvement, and I'm sure we're going to see those improvements in these next few years for this basketball program. It's Porter with a nice behind-the-back dribble, but it's poked away, and now Hart with a lane to the basket. Looked like it was stripped away. But the ball is going to stay with the Knights.
And for the first time tonight, Derek Mount wasn't triggering it in, and they get the ball to Mount.
Great skip pass out to Caldwell. but he can't connect. It's under 3 to play here. Let's look ahead. Traders Point, their remaining schedule, they've got a game against Culver Academy, then they play Bethesda Christian, then they play at Greenwood Christian, at Brebeuf, and then they finish at home against Central Christian.
Yeah, that Culver Academy game on Saturday, Indiana Basketball Day, you'll be able to listen to it here on Indiana SRN.
Again, Crenshaw with another offensive rebound. I believe that's about 5 offensive boards for him tonight. Gives him his 10th point. Hart looking to attack, gets into the paint, but Porter able to come up with it and quickly the Continentals the other way. Mount able to throw it up ahead to Hart.
Lays it up and in.
Nice little finger roll there from the senior. That gave him his 10th point of the night. And as we look ahead for the remaining schedule for Indianapolis, Washington, they're going to play Gearing Catholic, then they play Addicts, MTI Knowledge, and then they're on the road to finish off the year at Indiana Math and Science. So they've got a few tough games, but they've got some very winnable games.
That Addicts game is going to be a big-time game for George Washington. And another 5-second call against the Continentals.
I'm not going to lie, Justin, I think there should be a little bit more pressure applied. It seemed like he was kind of just dribbling around. I think really you got to give him that luxury if the defense isn't going to get up in his grill.
Well, and that's what, I mean, you can't really do much more, Ben, because if you give him, if you're too much into his face, then he blows right past you and you're on a 5-on-4 situation. Offensively, as Derek Mount
that was Philip Moran.
Moran travels.
Shuffled his feet trying to get that shot off. Another young player who we're going to see here for the next few years, only a freshman.
But you still get the turnover, and that's the biggest thing here.
Now Washington once again looking to hold the ball, but it's taken away by Hart as he's trying to weave his way through some traffic. Nice find, but Caldwell is rejected at the rim. Nice move from Hill. The floater off the front of the rim. And Crenshaw, another offensive rebound. It's quickly poked away, and here's Caldwell looking to finish at the other end. But he's fouled, so he's going to head to the line for 2.
And if you're Coach Roseman, you're just shaking your head here. You have a 15-point lead, under a minute left to go. You're telling Travis Balance, again, he's only a sophomore, so and I guess that's exactly what he's doing right now is you don't need to do that, son. Let him get the layup. You know, it's not going to hurt us.
Exactly. And also he could be saying at the other end, just pull this ball out, take us down to those final seconds, and let's go home with a win. We mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, Indianapolis Washington riding a 3-game losing streak, so they're looking to get back into the win column. Caldwell's now waiting for that second free throw. Caldwell on the year averaging around 11 points per game. Hasn't been great at the free throw line, though. Only 54% as he misses that one. We had a couple players there fighting for the rebound as Mount hit the ground. And we're going to have a full timeout here from Traders Point. And it looks like they're just going to run some subs through here, get some of these younger players into the game. Once again, it's all about the future here for this basketball program. Solid game from Derek Mount tonight as he finished with 11 points. We've got the JV squad in here looking to round out these last 30 seconds. Ball's going to stay with Traders Point. Mentioned Mount with 11 points. And right behind him was the other senior, Hart, with 10. And then it was Caldwell with 10 as well. And there's a carry from Balance, so it's going to go back the other way. And on the other side for Washington, they were led by a couple players, but really the biggest offensive input we saw was Aaron Hampton coming in the third quarter and knocking down 3 threes to finish with 9 points. And then also Jonathan Porter, he had 7, and it was Keelan Hill with 7 as well. Wide open in the corner is Caldwell. He connects. 11-point game as the clock winds down. And there's a shot from Porter. Coach Roseman not happy with that. Just something you don't do at the end of the game. But Washington going to come away with this one. They win over Traders Point 48-37. Washington moves to 6-9 on the year. Traders Point now sitting at 2-14. And after the game here, real shortly, we're going to have an interview. Justin Griffiths, my partner, will be down on the floor for that one as he awaits. But this was a solid game in the first half as Traders Point got down early, was able to claw back into it and make it a one-possession game at the half. But then things opened up when Aaron Hampton came on the floor and was knocking down threes. He was lights out tonight. And now let's throw it down to Justin Griffiths down on the court with the winning coach, Kenny Roseman of Washington.
I'm here with Coach Roseman. And Coach, it really seemed like Hampton there in the third quarter was your big surprise for the Traders Point Knights. What did you really tell them before going into that ball game?
I didn't see it as a surprise. Aaron Hampton's been my sixth man the whole season. He's been playing he's been playing JV minutes, but he's a varsity type player. He has the IQ. He's getting better in the weight room. He's trying to get a little quicker, but I just want him to play. I knew he was due. We were looking for some energy. I know we can shoot the ball with Traders Point. They were packing in that zone, so I just looked at him. He had that eye of the tiger. I knew he was due. He went in there and made some plays for us, and that was our spark tonight.
Yeah, 9 points, and then you were able to kind of build off of that and build it up all the way up to a 16 or 15-point lead. What do you really attribute that besides limiting Derek Mount to his shots?
Well, we just basically said when we came out of halftime, we got to bring the energy. I mean, it was kind of lethargic in here. It was dead. Our guys weren't playing the way we're accustomed to playing. It's like when we bring energy, we can play with anybody in the state, and we've shown that all season long. We're just trying to put together 32 minutes. We've been playing about 28, 29 minutes against some of the good caliber teams, but when we play together and trust the process and play defense and listen and play with that energy, we're a fun team to coach. It's a fun team to coach, and we're going to be a tough out in the sectional. I can promise you that.
Well, and you have a couple of tough games coming up here. Biggest one is Addicts. You know, they just won the city championship. They just knocked off Ben Davis. I know that's a couple of games away from you, but are you looking towards that at all, or are you just trying to focus on your next one and get ever closer to your sectional?
I never look ahead. We never look ahead as a program, but that's the reason why we schedule these teams, because we know we got a tough sectional, and to be the best, you got to beat the best. But we embrace those challenges, and like I said, we're kind of short-handed, so I'm looking for guys to step up like Aaron did tonight. One of our top players, Tyler Weatherly, went down in the city tournament, as some people may know, tore his ACL. My heart is kind of heavy this evening because he goes into surgery tomorrow, so we're going to be praying for him as we go in the locker room and hope for a speedy recovery. But it's kind of like next man up, but, you know, God is good.
It absolutely is. And on World Cancer Day, nonetheless, so you pick up a big win. And, again, us here at Indiana SRN, you know Keith Myers, he's praying for you guys all the time. And, again, we're going to go back to Ben Wood in the studio.
We're going to wrap things up here, as you just heard from the winning head coach of the Washington Continentals, Kenny Roseman, in his 6th year, with some touching words there for his senior guard in Tyler Weatherly, who we wish the best of luck, who's having ACL surgery tonight. But here from Traders Point, it's the visiting team picking up the win, 48-37 over Traders Point. For Riley and Clay on the camera, I'm Ben Wood, Justin Griffiths down on the floor. Thanks for everyone for watching. Once again, this has been Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.